It's finally here. Our first major update to Rumbleverse. We're just about to announce it now. I think the servers are offline as I record this. We've seen some hints in the tweets of what's going to be in this, what kind of changes we can expect. I'm really excited to see what changes they're going to bring to the game. I think if I just make some quick predictions, quick things I want to see, I definitely want to see them address the biggest things that I see people bring up the most often, even if it's not, hey, this is going to change immediately, like here's how maybe it's going to get adjusted. Things like the superstar, obviously, weapon vicious, especially the plank in the chair and vulnerability, which they've already touched on a little bit, and quality of life things and other bug fixes, like, you know, phasing through buildings, getting stuck in certain pieces of the map. Maybe some sound things like, you know, being able to have more presets for your outfits. On a live react, this video is just going to be a compilation of all the big things and also everything they don't go over. It's going to be in the patch notes. I'm going to read that. And that's seen a lot of familiar I see a lot of familiar faces in the Twitch chat, a lot of Reddit users in here. I hear someone cooking. I hear a creaky desk chair. They're getting a Discord message.
To you live from the Grappital City Playground to demonstrate what's new in the mid-season update. Let's meet your hosts, Community Manager Keenan Morales.
Hey, greetings, citizens of Grappital City. Good morning.
And Lead Designer Adam Hart.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully our first of many. We
Keits and
have a
Keeman
lot to show you today, but first we want to let you all know that we highly encourage you to restream. So if you're out there and you are a content creator and you want to kind of add your voice to the conversation, please do. The big reveals are going to begin very shortly. We do have a lot to show you today, so we're going to be going pretty rapid fire. We're going to do some reveals of new content. I got one right in my hand right here. And then we're going to do some balance patch notes. And I think the patch notes total to about 12 pages or something. Is that right, Keenan? It's a lot of stuff.
Sounds like the detail you put into this game.
Yeah, we did trim it down a bit for the show, so we're going to go through the balance change highlights, and we're going to skip the bug fixes. But when the stream is over, there is going to be that post of all of this stuff in detail, so that you can
we'll definitely go over that
in your own time and check it all out. So be sure to do that, of course. And yeah, I guess that's all the intro we need, right? So should
dive
we,
kick, new move already.
Right
new move.
Dive right in.
Let's dive right in. Let's show them an Iron Galaxy classic.
Okay, so what's
introducing Mr. Dive Kick?
Oh, hello! Look, it's the Dive Kick
special.
special. High damage, high stamina damage, and ground attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and equip that. Of course, this only appears in epic variety, nothing more, nothing less. And if you press the button, you're going to go up and then come straight back down automatically. You dive and then you kick. If you press the button a little earlier, like the second time, you can dive kick a little sooner. If you do it in the air, you get that same kind of motion. You get some stamina back here. This will work as a ground attack as well, so I'm going to try to land this first try. Nailed it. Very good. Add a little extra damage. And if I do hit the attack button again, the same button you equip the special move to, right at the peak, get the perfect dive kick. That does quite a bit more damage and quite a bit more stamina damage as well. So it's a really cool move. I think you're going to find a lot of really fun uses for it. Another little secret about the dive kick is you can't take fall damage when you use it. So if you leap off of a large building and hit this button, you're not going to get hurt when you land. It's great.
But it doesn't.
Welcome to the dive kick.
Not listed as a traversal though.
Dive kick to our.
It looks a lot like what you do during ballistic.
We have something the Discord community has been a huge fan of. We're bringing it back, the epic tier Azuna drop called Super Azuna.
That's right. Super Azuna drop is here. Little anecdote for you. Way back in early betas, there were 2 Azuna drops. They were blue and purple rarities. We moved those down to green and blue once we edited the animation to add that really cool spin. And now the purple one's back, Super Azuna drop. Look at the distance on this. Look at the damage. Very, very cool move. Another really cool thing about the Super Azuna drop is it's aimable, so I can hold a direction and drag Keenan in that direction. Gives it a lot of versatility, kind of gives it a lot of cool stuff you can do with it.
Interesting. Does that only apply to the purple version, or?
No, we've gone ahead and applied the aimable ability to all of the Azuna drop family just to give them a bit more identity. So there you go.
Oh,
definitely you're going to want to experiment a bit more with the Azuna drops. If you're not a Azuna drop user, you might be now.
Thanks, Adam. Next up, a new consumable. Saw a lot of fun theories on Reddit and Discord of what it could be. But
Moosel Shake build Superstar?
That's right. It's the Moosel Shake. It does build Superstar meter. It builds about a third of your meter. You've probably seen signs for Moosels. You've seen Moosel's vendors around the city. And those vendors are now live, so you can go up to them just like the Squatch Chickens windows and get some moosels. There's a moosels poster right up here. It's utterly delicious. So I'll go ahead and drink one of these.
They say moosels
quite
is
a lot of superstar meter.
one of the skins.
This will top me off. Oh, it did not. I'll need my third one here. There you go. That's the moosel shake. These are really handy to pocket.
And that concludes our new consumables. Next up, we've got some new weapons for you. First up, we've got the golf club and golf bag to introduce.
If you look at the vending machines,
golf putter. I'll go ahead and put that in my bag.
You can see golf clubs.
Driver.
Looks like a lead pipe too.
And where'd my golf bag go? Here it is. Cool. All right, the golf bag is going to work a lot like the trash can weapons, but the difference is that if you break it, golf clubs come out.
Yeah. That's half used.
You can get quite a few. So I'll pull out my putter here. The golf club comes in 3 rarities. The basic combo looks like this, and one really cool thing about the basic combo is it actually will stun people, so you can do a follow-up attack. And that's really, really nice. If you use the vicious attack, however, you get this cool little golf meter. And if you mistime it, you kind of slice a little bit. Not the best. But if you hit it just right, you get a nice shot.
These timed
attacks.
Let's
check out the difference here. I'll just grab this broken one.
Super interesting addition.
This one. And he kind of went off to the side. Didn't go very far. Not in a lot of control. But if we get the nice shot, boom. It goes very, very far.
Straight ahead, super far. Bounce off the car. Nice shot.
That was awesome. Nice. All right, coming back over here. So I'm going to combine those things now. I'm going to stun him with the strikes, and then I'm going to try to get the nice shot as a follow-up. And I'm going to try to change my angle so I can knock him down the street. So here we go. Face plant him. We'll start it up, move to the side. Got the nice shot, sent him down the street.
See ya.
Golf club's very dangerous.
163 drop
really
damage.
Have a lot of fun with these, for sure.
For sure. Maybe pocket a few when you're by the water. Who knows?
Yeah, I would recommend that.
Cool. Next up,
the subtle
for folks that
suggestion.
are fans of the wooden plank, we've added the steel pipe.
Yeah, so many wood plank fans. Very popular weapon. People can't stop talking about how much they love it. So we'll show you the steel pipe.
It's a little
this
sarcasm.
is just the next rarity of the plank. So it's got the same attacks. Very, very juicy damage on that strike. And then the vicious is going to stun for a follow-up, just like the plank does.
Great. Next up, some epic tier weapons. We've got the metal chair and also the epic tier bat, the cricket bat.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, I think that's
the metal chair is going to be high stamina
too.
damage, and of course this bat has some cool stuff going on as well that I'll show you. Both of these have 6 durability. This is a lot of durability. So go ahead and when I land, swing this pipe at me. Go again. Oh, okay. Pick it back up. Pick it back up. All right, we'll go again. So his pipe is going to break on the next hit. Ooh. Sorry, I was trying to time it out. All right, ready? Oh, it broke already. Never mind. Well, you get the idea. You could clash with these because they have so much durability. Okay, we'll do it with a plank. I had 2 left.
You got me.
There you go. So his plank is broken, and I still have 5 durability left on this chair, which is great. And the chair works just like the lower rarity chairs, but it also does a lot of stamina damage. Can you just hit me with the vicious attack on this? Check out my stamina bar. Quite a lot of stamina damage. So watch out for that. You'll get stamina broken
60.
if you aren't building legs, which brings me to my shirt. It says, don't skip leg stay.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. All right. The cricket bat is the highest rarity of the baseball bat family. It's got the pretty typical combo here, but one really special thing about
Start adding super strong chairs.
The special thing about it here is when you do the basic attacks, it bounces them for a follow-up. So you can combo directly into the vicious.
Did he like float in the air?
Very strong weapon as well.
That's 112.
Yep.
If you're using that cricket bat.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, our final weapon addition to the day. I'm going to let Adam pick it up and show him yourself.
Okay. What is this?
What is that?
Key bat.
And I'm going to grab a few of them because I have a lot to show you here.
Sure.
Get out of your post box. I was trying to hide this with the post box.
I saw the key stick
Did it
out.
work?
I was
Did
like,
you notice it?
Why is there a key in the
so
mailbox?
This is the legendary key bat.
Mm-hmm.
Rumble scholars are studying it. It's a legendary artifact of unknown origin.
Unknown origin.
For or why it exists. This is the rarest item in the game. You will not see this often. If you see somebody with it, you should probably try and take it from them because it's really, 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 really strong.
How rare would you say?
It's got
I would say you
9
should probably
durability. 9
probably
durability.
2 to 4 of these will spawn per game.
That's
And
not a lot.
You may not ever see it yourself in that particular game. So keep an eye out for it. Very, very cool. All right. So it's got a basic combo. Looks like this.
It's just like Kingdom
It's
Hearts.
got a dash attack. Looks like this. It's got
What?
an air strike. Looks like this. Very, very
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Vicious attack looks like that. The air vicious is kind of the same. And you can start to put some of these things together and do stuff like this.
Ouch.
Very, very cool.
Shut
Or you could do something like this.
Now we have just weapon combos.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, indeed. And that is, of course, all the Keybat can do. Just kidding. It can do a lot more things. All right. So if you throw it, you know, with the aim button, it throws normally like things do. You can have that one, Keenan.
Thanks.
But if you hit the quick throw button, something special happens. You actually throw the Keybat, and then it boomerangs back to you. And this will go through walls, so you can pester people through walls with it. Yep, I hit him. There we go. Very nice. And you can charge that up, and if that hits, you're going to stun him for sure. And then you get a little combo. Yeah, very fun. That is, of course, all the Keybat does.
I don't know
Just
that people
kidding,
are
it
going to
does
like
much more
this.
stuff.
I
Come
love
on,
this.
Keenan, let's go over to this wall. Can you just jump with me? Look at how much higher than you I jump because I'm holding this Keybat.
As somebody
climb with
that played Kingdom Hearts in a single sitting.
Oh, I'm faster than you too. Isn't that nice?
Come on.
And can it do one more thing?
is there-
What do you think? Should we add
No
one more
nerfs,
thing?
only buffs, yes.
There's no way we can fit another thing.
Well, let's say I was standing here, but I really wanted to be standing over there.
So OP, you guys are evil to your
What if I
core.
just glide?
I think I'll follow you.
This thing is nuts.
Got him.
You think they practice that?
And of course, you can attack out of that as well. As long as you have stamina, you can glide around, and then you can.
It does take stamina to glide.
And that is the Keybat. So yeah, look forward to using that.
Are they getting sued for this?
Easy to find them in playground mode if you want to practice with it, but when you find it in an actual match, it is a game changer for sure. You might want to save it for the end or use the mobility mid-game and kind of reveal to people that you have it. It's very cool.
It's the truest of treasures.
That's right.
All right, now follow me this way. I got something for you.
Oh yeah. I should have brought my Keybat so I could move faster.
Introducing the new feature highlighted in our blog article.
Oh god, I ran out of stamina. I'm gonna pop super. No, I'm not. That was weird. Okay.
Cool. Hey,
I did pop super, but it's not glowing. I'm gonna super you real quick.
sure.
I've encountered a bug. Okay, here we go. So
Not
my super
necessarily
meter's
what
at
you
about
want.
half. This is an ABS post
Shoot.
spot. You're going to find these all around the city. If it's glowing, that means the people at the Action Broadcasting Service want you to do an emote on it. So that is what I'm going to do. And then I get a ton of superstar meter for doing that. So look out for
That's
these.
fun.
And definitely emote on them. And get your superstar meter. And this will glow again later. So you can come back later and see if it starts to glow again.
So we've got the Moosel Shake and post spots to get fame for our superstar meter. It seems like a lot of
Are they
ways
calling
to
that
get
fame?
superstar. Should I be concerned there, Adam?
Maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see. We're going to get into the balance changes next, and maybe there will be
I don't know,
something
man.
there to calm the nerves on the amount of superstar meter we've just added.
There you go. All right, so
Is it
starting
going to
off
build
with our
slower through everything else?
gameplay balance changes. We're going to go over these changes. And as a reminder, all of these notes will be on our blog directly after this stream. Now let's begin. Welcome to our first major balance update. While hearing about the many changes and bug fixes we have for you today, please
That
keep
did
in mind
12
that game
superstar.
balance is a sum of all parts. Taking any one of these changes in a vacuum may paint an inaccurate picture. We'd like to encourage you to play the game with fresh eyes. Give it some time to feel out how all the puzzle pieces fit together. We'll continue to watch you play and listen to your feedback, and we'll work hard to bring the game into a harmonious state. Thanks for being a part of this journey with us.
Well said, Keenan. I have a few things to add to that as well. You guys don't have to agree with every change that we make. Not every change is going to be aimed at you or your playstyle, and that's okay. We're going to provide you with all of our reasoning for each change so that even if you do disagree, you can at least
Smart.
get a window into our thought process and understand, where it is we're trying to go and why we're going there. There are a lot of people who want to see a lot of changes, and you will see a lot of changes today. Some of them are steps in a direction, not leaps. So, we'll take a step towards a solution, and if it's not enough, we'll take another step next time. So keep that in mind as well. Rumbleverse is a very young game, so you can expect larger balance change lists as we learn about the game with you. We hope to eventually stabilize things on the balance side so that the changes coming in are much smaller in the future. But for now, they're probably going to be a bit bigger. And then, like Keenan said, these notes are going to be posted on the website right after we're done. The full notes include a couple balance changes we're not going to go over on the stream and a huge list of bug fixes that we're not going to go over on the stream. So please check that out. And remember, it's a sum of all parts. All these things combine into a new experience. So give yourself a few weeks to play it and experience it, and then give us more feedback because we're loving the feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who submitted everything in the game feedback channel in the Discord. It's much appreciated.
Yeah.
All right, so starting off, we got a conversation that I want to bring up thanks to Sodium Arousal from Reddit. The question there was, any plans to modify super? Damage, meter generation, meter depletion? We've noticed a lot of players activating superstar mode and just kind of wailing on the super attack button. We've also heard community concerned about how quickly a player is able to fill their superstar meter after landing a super move. To encourage more thoughtful use of superstar mode, and in order to make confirms into supers cost a bit more, the following change has been made.
Yes, this is a big one. And again, I want you guys to play with this before you
Superstar runs out when you
let
use
us
it.
know how it feels. But attempting a super move now is going to take 25 star power off the timer of your super mode. So I want you to watch my meter. I'm going to activate. I'm going to whiff a super. Big chunk goes away. Whiff a super. Another big chunk goes away.
It's a smart change.
Super. Another big chunk goes away. Oh, I'm losing all the benefits of the healing and the damage and the speed, and now it's gone. So you're going to get about 4 or 5 of those before it's completely gone.
That makes sense.
This is a massive game changer in terms of how often you're even going to be willing to press that button, because every time you miss, it's fairly costly to you in terms of how much healing and other benefits you're going to be able to get out of the mode. It is really important to us that supers remain really strong and scary. They should be. So we want to keep that a big feature of the moves and the mode, but we don't really want people to kind of be out there just mashing that button mindlessly until it hits. And I think this change will hopefully accomplish that. This will also come with me, Keenan, real quick, if you don't mind. This is also going to make your super confirms cost more, since each attempt, even if it hits, is has some cost to it. So I'm going to throw Keenan into the wall. I'm going to do a typical kind of super confirm here with the quick activate. Quick activate, super. Now look at my meter. It's about half gone. So I have quite a bit more to fill up before I can get into another super mode. So pocket some Moosel Shakes and use some ABS post spots, and you might be able to make up that deficit and maintain the play style of like chaining supers, if that's your thing. If you really like doing that, you definitely want to pocket some of those Moosel Shakes, big time. And that's our first change.
Thanks for the update.
I'm almost surprised that it doesn't deplete the whole bar like they said.
Next up,
I thought they might have gone to that.
Concerns from the community about how the meditative perk can make some final rings last a long time. While meditative is nearly impossible to use in some final ring locations, in others it can be difficult to stop opponents from using it. There's already a mechanic in the game to help mitigate this. The final ring will contract even more if no players attack any other for 10 seconds. And in order to keep this action moving, without having to come at meditative with a heavy hand, the following change was made.
Yeah, so like Keenan said, meditative really has its place in the game. We really believe that. It's really the final ring where it's causing a lot of strife for most people. So that 10-second wait before the final ring will start to shrink more is now 7 seconds. That may not sound like a lot, but in practice it is quite aggressive. So please give it a try for a few weeks and see how it feels. It should really mitigate how effective meditative can be in a final ring, but you can still kind of use it the way you used to in every other part of the game. Just remember, meditative has like an opportunity cost to it. Anytime you meditate, you're not doing something else, which means you're not getting perks, you're not finding loot. And in the final ring, maybe that doesn't matter to you, which is why that's kind of the spot where it's a problem. But I think in the rest of the game, it probably works. And, give it some more time. Let us know how you feel. And if we need to make additional changes, we will. Like we said, it's a step in a direction.
Correct there. Next up, We did a full review of the startup speed of vicious attacks and felt some of them were either faster or slower than we expected. The following changes have been made to bring things more
I
in
missed
line
part
with
of
the
that
design
trying to read
intention
that.
for each move.
Yeah, this is a bunch of changes right here. The basic vicious suplex used to be kind of like a medium speed attack. Now it is the fastest vicious attack in the game.
That makes sense.
It is on the edge of reactability. I think a lot of people are going to get hit by this a lot. It is quite hard to react to now. Possible, but difficult. So unless you're really focused on just this, it's going to be really tough for you. This is, when I talk about looking at the big picture, think about it. This is a huge buff to the Brainbuster perk, because now that perk adds a ton of damage to the fastest grab in the game. So
it doesn't take any stamina away from you.
When I'm talking about big picture, looking at the game as a big picture, think about that kind of stuff. The next one on the list is the Chokeslam family. These are faster now as well. This move is stamina damage focused, not raw damage focused, and those moves tend to be faster. So we gave this one quite a lot of speed as well. It's going to be much easier to land Chokeslams now. On the other end, the Crusher family is the damage family, and it should be slower. It was quite a bit too fast, I think, in 1.0. So we slowed it down quite a bit. Keenan, it is early morning, but I think he'll be able to react to this most of the time. This is about the speed that Tackle used to be. I'll get the Tackle in a second. So Crusher's a bit slower. Still great damage, though. And let's go to grab a Tackle here. Let's see if we can, Javelin Tackle. Everyone's favorite move, Javelin Tackle. This one has been slowed down as well. This one is about the same speed as the super attack now. And
that like run up.
I'm still waking up.
Yes. There you go. He dodged it. He dodged it again.
That's actually like noticeably slower.
He dodged it again. There you go. Tackle's a little bit slower. So if you're able to dodge super moves on reaction, you should also be able to dodge tackles on reaction. We really like the damage and power on this one. But let's do another tackle change. What do you got for me, Keenan?
Yeah, so the team loves the tackle family for its range and power, but felt that the risk was just a bit too low to fit the design intention of the move. We've also seen that using tackle into corners can get the attacker temporarily stuck somewhat frequently. To that end, we've made the following changes.
All right, Keenan, let's do the dodge thing first real quick.
Okay.
I want you to dodge this tackle on reaction and then charge a chop, and I'll hold block. You ready? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the get up is super slow.
I'm mashing jump so you can see how long it takes. That's how long it takes to get back up. So that's another big nerf to everyone's favorite move, the tackle. But one thing we didn't like about the tackle is how often it gets stuck in corners. Try to let it stand like right here, Keenan. We're going to aim for that corner and see if we can get it. More like on this. Yeah, right there. Perfect. All right, here we go. So if you recall in the past, I would probably get stuck behind Keenan doing it into that spot. And now I bounce up a little higher and I tend to land in front.
Bounce back.
I do not think this fixes all cases of tackle getting stuck behind people, but I think it'll fix most of them. If you guys send in more clips of it going wrong, we can find more fixes in the future. But I think this will help a lot.
Definitely appreciate everyone's posted on Reddit, Twitter, Discord, etc. Appreciate you a bunch. Cool. All right.
How many tackling people off buildings still?
In order to add more threat to players who are blocking, we've raised the stamina damage taken when blocking basic attacks. Players will need to respond to these attacks with actions instead of blocking forever and waiting to react dodge a vicious attack, or risk being stamina broken. As a reminder, Spin Kick already does 30 stamina damage when blocked and is a great option when attempting to stamina break an opponent. Stamina damage on block has been increased on the following.
Punish you on that.
All right, let's do the Spin Kick first. This hasn't changed. I just want to show people. Watch my stamina, please. That's a lot. That's a lot of stamina.
What a crazy sloop.
Yep. All right, so once I get full again, we'll just do the chop. The chop used to do 2, now it does 10. That's pretty significant. It looks like it's 9 because I'm regenning as that happens, but it's 10. Punch used to do 4, now it does 10. So do chop punch. It's quite a bit of stamina damage. And the charge chop used to do 18, now it does 25. So that's pretty significant. You're going to want to look at my t-shirt. You're going to want to not skip leg day. Do not skip leg day because you will get stamina crushed.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out for that. Also, to maintain Sumo Slap's role as a high stamina damage family in the face of these changes, we had to up those as well. Keenan, can you equip the basic Sumo Slap and the Super Sumo Slap for me, please?
Yes.
The basic Sumo Slap used to do, this is for the final hit of the Sumo Slaps. The final hit of the green Sumo Slap used to do 17, now it does 30. The poison one used to do 18, now it does 30. And the super used to do 19, now it does 34. So I'll go ahead and block those so you can see it. All non-final hits do 2 instead of 1. This is a pretty significant increase for Sumo Slap's stamina.
What is that? It's almost... Does it look green?
Shifting a super after that?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Super's almost 40.
There you go. Let's talk poison.
First
Sumo
it was
Slap
34.
now.
Okay.
Poison Sumo Slap was dealing a lot more poison damage than we had intended. So we've reduced the duration of poison inflicted by Poison Sumo Slap.
We have, but I do want to show you a positive thing that
duration?
comes along with that. We may need to go to full screen on this stream director so you can see my perk meter. But Keenan, can you turn off your infinite health here for a moment?
Already off.
All right, so I'm going to hit Keenan with hold on. I think we're good. Yeah, okay. You can see my perk meter. I'm going to hit him and then watch the perk meter. Yay, the poison will give me perk meter now. So that is a huge benefit.
I didn't realize it didn't do that.
It adds a lot of value to poison moves in general, which we'll talk about a little bit more later.
Poison moves, plural? We only have one right now.
You can heal up and turn
They showed us all the
infinite
moves.
health back on.
Showed us all the new moves, though.
Next up, using a falling type attacks on a bounce pad to gain absurd height has proven to be a little bit of a degenerate tactic. The team addressed this issue with the street sign bounces and a hotfix shortly after launch. To mimic this change, the bounce limit on all falling attacks has been reduced to 1.
That is correct. So we've all seen somebody in the final ring just doing elbow drops on these things, but now you're going to hit the bounce limit in 1 bounce on any falling attack, which is going to send you into this.
So you're not going to be able to get.
Takes you exactly as high as the bounce pad normally does. So there's really no advantage to doing it, but you can attack out of it if you'd like to, come back down with another elbow. You can still do that kind of stuff. This tactic was not good for the game, not healthy for the game at all. Very, very hard to deal with. Very high reward, very low risk. If it didn't look like you were going to be able to land a hit, you could just go for that third bounce and hit the bounce limit on purpose and all that kind of stuff. So just to show you, this is the same with a bunch of different weapons. See, it just flips me right out of there. I'll do that with the golf club.
Oh,
as
he
well.
did pocket a mailbox.
So yeah, I can still do that. Not bad.
Not a crazy amount of extra damage off of that either.
Next, let's talk vicious air weapon attacks. They act as unblockable elbow drop style attacks and are a bit too powerful for the low risk. We like what they bring to the weapons in game, so we've decided to make some weapons break even if you miss these attacks to prevent you from using these repeatedly until you find a hit.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple exceptions here. The stop sign is not going to break when you whiff the Vicious because it does this little cool pole vault thing. So it's still a really powerful weapon. But for most weapons, if you whiff this Air Vicious, that weapon's just going to straight up break. So you can't just walk around doing that over and over and over again until you hit somebody.
That's good.
Another
That's
exception
good.
I want to show you is if you do get high enough to, get stamina damage and you miss, the weapon won't break. It'll fall instead, and you'll be vulnerable and take all that stamina damage. So that's plenty of risk, I think, without breaking the weapon. And maybe it's worse because they could steal your weapon now. So I think that's a pretty good change for the game, too.
Yeah.
This updates are the result of analyzing data instead of opinions, and I love it.
For low altitude air vicious attacks when compared to their grounded versions. So the following changes have been made.
Yeah, this was kind of a nasty one. You would do a ground vicious attack. I'm mashing jump right now to show you how long it takes me to recover. And then you would do an air one and recover in 1/3 of the time. So you do like an air one at this height and just be able to move or jump or dodge or block immediately. So we've added a bunch of recovery to low altitude vicious attacks, all of them, to make sure that when you're doing that type of attack, that it has kind of the same risk that the ground one has. I think that makes the game a lot more thoughtful, and I hope you will too. This also applies to the super. So if I do that really low to the ground, now I'm going to be in quite a long landing. No more free super attempts that way either. So not only am I going to lose a chunk of my meter, but I'm stuck in this weird little landing pose for even trying that. So there you go. Huge change.
Big change. Next up, nice quality of life change. Let's step over here.
Okay.
You can now wall dash.
Yeah, so you could always wall dash with the jump button. So I'm just hitting the jump button. You can't see my controller, but believe me, I'm hitting the jump button. But now you're allowed to wall dash with the dash button as well, which makes sense because it is got the word dash in the name. So I'm hitting the dash button and now I'm wall dashing, which is great. It feels really nice to do. And I know some people have problems because they're just like moving, their brain's moving too fast. They want to grab the wall and then wall dash immediately. And if they get the timing wrong, they get an accidental wall jump because there's an overlap with the jump button doing wall dash and wall jump. So if you're that type of player, you've had that problem, you can mash the dash button instead, grab the wall.
I think I've only done that once.
And you should
that is
avoid
nice,
those accidental wall jumps if they're bothering you.
I always thought it was weird the dash button didn't do anything on climbing.
We now allow you to cancel wall dash into wall dodge. This opens up some new speed climbing and movement techniques at the cost of a lot of stamina.
Wall dodge?
Yeah, it sure does. This is a pretty cool one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wall dash.
Was wall dodge already a thing?
I'm going to dodge right after I do that. And it sends me quite far, as you can see. And I'll have to re-grab the wall again. It's also a very stamina-hungry technique. But this is a really interesting speed climbing technique because you can do things like this and move quite fast. You not want to
took 70 stamina.
You're going to want to not skip legs day in this update, I would say, because this movement is pretty out of control.
They really did make
stamina
stamina
kind
worth
of throw
using.
yourself off the sides of buildings in cool ways too. So kind of like that. And get kinds of jumps you couldn't get before. It's a really, really fun technique. Definitely experiment with it in the playground mode and get the hang of it. But it is extremely stamina hungry to do.
I'm not even sure you could dodge on wall climb before, but that's super necessary.
Yeah, I would think so.
Great. So,
finally, we can drink stamina pots.
A tactic involving attacking shortly after air dodges directly over top of opponents' heads proved to be too advantageous for the attacker. The purpose of air dodge is for evasion and movement, but the recovery time was so low that you could throw it out without thought and still maintain offense. To combat this, the following changes have been made.
Yeah, so this is probably the most controversial change on the list. So I want you to stay with me and pay attention, and I'll show you some
controversy.
More
let's
stuff to
go.
Deal with this. But the tactic before was jump, air dodge, go behind somebody, and on the way down from that, do an air vicious attack. That combines all the best things you could possibly do into one action. So you're doing a jump, you're doing an air dodge, you get that quick invulnerability, you're doing an off-camera attack from behind with like no recovery on it. Lot of nasty stuff there. This isn't a tactic I saw used really widespread in the wild, but internally this was becoming very degenerate, and I started to see hints of it becoming degenerate in the wild as well. I think even though people aren't complaining about this now, if we had let this sit for another 6 weeks, people would be complaining about this one. So big change here. Please stay with us on this one. The air dodge has a lot more recovery on it before you're allowed to do anything other than a risky falling attack. So I can air dodge an elbow just the same as I used to, but now if I air dodge and hit the vicious attacks, not coming out. I gotta land.
Wow.
If I get up high enough, I might be able to get that vicious attack just before I land, but I have to go up quite a bit higher to do that.
You have to be on the double
jump and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, boost jump.
So that additional recovery time doesn't apply to falling attacks, but it applies to all your special moves as well. A popular tactic would be, hey, somebody's climbing away, so I boost jump and then I do a special or I do a grab. That actually doesn't work anymore. There are going to be other ways to chase that I'll show you. One of the ways is that new wall dash. So if somebody is on the wall and you do a wall dodge, you can attack out of that immediately, just like the ground one used to. So you're going to have to incorporate that into your game. If Keenan's climbing away from me, go ahead, Keenan. I can grab the wall. I can do that. And I misspaced that.
Looks like a new
crazy because I went up way too far, but you get the idea. That's the way you're going to chase people. There's another way you're going to chase people, which we'll get to in a second, but this is a big adjustment people are going to have to make. And I really do want you to give this one some time before you give us feedback on it. Because it is quite an adjustment. Air dodge cancels are also unaffected by this. So if you do an air dodge, you're still going to be able to attack out of it normally. Air dodge cancel a bailout. But if you're just doing them kind of raw and neutral like this or off of bounce pads, there is quite a bit more delay before you're allowed to do anything.
The only problem I can see with that is
once that delay ends, you're back to normal. And this is really just to curtail that behavior of jump over somebody, attack them from behind, jump over air dodge, attack them from behind.
Third party, you could punish your inability to react.
Gotcha. Thanks for the explanation.
On landing.
Yeah.
But...
Next up, one of my favorite mechanics, block flip. It was originally added to the game to help you leap off the sides of buildings and grab the wall below you. At that time, the player had less air control during normal jumps, and making back to the wall was very difficult. Once that changed, block jump lost its identity. To try to find a new identity for it, the following changes have been made. Yeah,
so it still does everything it used to do. You can just still tap it out. You turn around immediately when you do this. So if I elbow drop, I'm already facing, I did a 180 right there, like right away, right? But the big change here is that if you hold the jump button, you go much higher, like higher than a boost jump higher. So you kind of have a super jump in your pocket, but cost stamina now. So that's the trade-off, 15 stamina. And because it turns around, I actually can't grab the wall until
Mario crouch jump.
but I can air dodge
okay.
and then grab the wall. That's expensive
For a lot of stamina, yeah.
Flip jump that costs 15 and then an air dodge which costs some more, but that's a really fast way to move. And
Somebody else
you can also
mentioned Lava
attack out
Dome.
of this anytime you want, so it goes up quite high and then I can attack like that. If Keenan does like a regular jump or a long jump, grabs the wall, I may be able to use the block flip to catch him. We can give it a try right here and see if I can actually nail it. Yeah. So that's another way you're going to have to adapt to chasing people up walls now with the air dodge changes. So there you go.
There you go.
Stamina protein actually relevant. Stamina
It was
protein
too
very
common
relevant
to have
now.
2 epic special moves equipped early in a match, so we've made the epic rarity skill books slightly less common. We see a trend of players putting an overemphasis on epic skill books. Other rarity books are all very powerful, and we want to encourage you to use them more often.
Yeah, I mean that is what it says it is, right? There's going to be less epic skill books in the game, but this is another kind of big picture lesson I kind of want to impart on everybody. Javelin tackle is now harder to find because epic skill books are harder to find, right? But also javelin tackle is now harder to find because there are 2 new epic skill books in the game. There's dive kick and super Azuna drop. So even finding an epic skill book will be harder, and then when you do, the odds of it being
for it to be actually jav tackle,
what you want are lower.
Atomic
So
super punch metal, let's go.
Thinking, right, et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next up, Poison Mist. Previously called Bad Breath, was the weakest special move in the game. To improve the viability of Poison Mist,
Oh, it's also
following changes
stuns?
have been made.
Yeah, so we said there were 2 new moves, but really, this is kind of like a new move. Poison Mist is in the game. It is not Bad Breath anymore, so
I think
that's
calling
not
it Bad
calling
Breath
itself bad. And we want move families to always carry the family name. The family name here is Mist.
It was kind of funny that they didn't. It wasn't already
Poison
like
Mist is still blockable. Go ahead and block for me.
that. So you can block it.
But it does stun now, just like Vicious Mist does. So go ahead and let go of block.
If you hit
Stun,
it.
and I get that combo. Very cool. And
Yeah, it was
the
kind of
poison
annoying
duration
that,
has
like,
been
you just
reduced
dropped.
since it has such much higher utility. So it's been reduced by quite a bit, actually. The charged AoE has been improved as well. The movement speed on it has been increased quite a bit.
That's way different. And even the animation is a little
You may
different.
find some use in running through a crowd and stunning a bunch of people and getting a bunch of perk
It's more
meter from that.
misty instead of
the
spitty.
poison builds perk meter
Spitty.
now. If I hit with the end of this, I might be able to get a combo, but if you hit early, it's kind of hard to. But that should be a lot more useful now. I would say it probably went from worst move in the game to one that you are going to want to equip when you find it. So Poison Mist, welcome to the game.
It's true. Very wasn't something I utilized a lot at all.
A new, newish move. We've increased
Skyrocket
the
gonna get
damage
remove
scaling values
change.
for some situations to lower combo damage after stuns, weapon stuns, wall splats, and setup moves slightly.
Right. So damage scaling is a concept where after certain things, additional things will do less damage. So let's take a look. Super choke slam here. We're going to get... are my damage numbers not on? Did I accidentally turn them off? Oh, there we go. 230. Cool. 230. But then after a charge chop, what do I get? I'm going to land on this car, ruin it. Okay, I got it. 172. I'm glad I didn't hit the car.
Oh,
So let's do the wall splat
scaling.
version.
Okay.
Come on over here. I'll wall splat you. Whoops. Missed my Irish whip. We'll wall splat you, and we'll see how much we get this time. 161. So this scaling was already in the game. This is how it already worked. We've just increased the scaling values a little bit to lower long combo damage a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we knew the scaling was in there, but
The Plank family weapons
good to see it be
are
noticeable.
powerful with their ability to stun using the gut check vicious attack. In order to the extra damage scaling mentioned above, we've also greatly decreased the damage dealt by the gut check vicious attack.
That's right. So I have Weapon Master, so this is going to look a little higher than it actually is, but this used to do 100 damage, and now it does 40. So a combo like Plank Vicious into Super used to do like 820 damage. Now it's going to do like 616 damage or something like that. I don't know if my math is exactly right, but you know. So got 65 from that. Again, I have Weapon Master, and I'm in Super mode.
65 with 30% and
So
576.
less
Oh, with the
than we
damage
used to
scaling,
get off of
because
that same thing.
super is usually 720.
Thanks.
That might actually be
We've
worse
noticed
than
that
just getting
the
super.
recovery time on a few of the weapon vicious attacks feel a little low. While we do want weapons to be threatening and powerful, we recognize that a few adjustments will help the health of this system. To that end, we have added a bit more recovery time when missing the Plank family gut check vicious attack and the Chair family charging star vicious attack.
That's right.
This should make it a
Chair
little
change.
easier to get away or maybe land a punish when evading these attacks early.
He says maybe land a punish, because if
Maybe.
you are still trying to dodge on reaction, your dodge has, a set amount of recovery time. And if you do it
Similar
earlier
amount.
and the end part of your invincibility is what gets you through a move, you have more time to recover and punish. So, if you are going on reaction, it's still maybe hard to punish these kinds of things. I'll do a jump and you can try it. You ready, Keenan? Sorry. Ready? All right. So you can see it's got a little bit of extra recovery there. Would have given Keenan some time to get away. Oh yeah, you don't want to dodge backwards on that one. A lot of
Oopsies.
active time.
All right, let's try it again.
There you go. So that should give you enough time to drop kick or, dodge away. It's a pretty big change. It may not look like it, but you'll feel it when you play for sure.
Yeah.
Great.
That's the thing with some of these timing things. It
invulnerability
doesn't necessarily
on the
look
chair
way
versus
different, but
attack.
it's going to
The
feel way
Charging
different.
Star was added before the priority system was fully working, and the team kind of just left it there. At this point, it is adding more confusion than anything, and isn't necessary to make the chair's moveset feel powerful and fun. It also leaves the chair with very little counterplay available. As a result, the chair vicious Charging Star is no longer invulnerable. So
That's
we'll
right.
lose priority interactions against power moves and the super move and cause clashes with other weapons.
All right, give me a charging star. Do it. All right. Hey, dropkick beats it now. There we go.
You love
It'll
to
also
see
clash.
it.
You want to pick up your chair again?
Yeah.
I'll jump and then attack, and then you can do the vicious. Hey, look, it clashed. So you can actually challenge the durability of a lower tier chair and all that kind of stuff. Works like a weapon should work now. Sorry about that one. Not my favorite either.
Cool. The design intention for gaining superstar meter from emotes was that players would need to use a longer emote with a higher risk to gain the most benefit. Unfortunately, the way this feature is most often used is that players repeatedly perform the shortest, lowest risk emotes. To move this feature back towards its original intentions, the following change was made.
Yeah, so the common behavior is wave, cancel, and you can see my meter went up and then didn't. So there's now a 10-second cooldown between when you can gain meter from emotes.
I never really
should
abused the
Change what kind of risks you're trying to take with the various lengths of emotes for how much meter you actually want to get.
really never abused this
And
emotes, but
we'll do emote
that's funny.
meter tuning pass in the future as well to kind of enhance this feature as well. But definitely play it and let us know what you think.
Yeah. In testing, we found that the tracking range of the basic combo follow-ups were so wide that they could appear to turn 180 degrees and track people who feel like they are behind the attacker. The effect of this was that the bailout options for players often reduced the dodging forward. To combat this, the following change was made.
Yeah, we've reduced the amount you're allowed to turn when you do basic combos and stuff like that. Like even on the follow-ups for weapons, I can't turn quite as dramatically as I could before.
You get
This should make it a little easier
just
to have
under 90
more
degrees,
dodge
90
options after you're in somebody's face. And it also, Keenan, can you block for a second? It also kind of lets you do this. If you want to change targets without another target near and just threaten something else, you actually have the option to do that now, which you may do on accident occasionally. So if you don't want to do that on accident, just stop pressing directions entirely and just keep hitting the button and you'll stay on the same target. So there you go.
Please don't nerf Omega Uppercut. Omega
We found
Uppercut's
that
already
in some
nerfed.
situations, it could be very hard to see the leaf VFX that play when hiding in bushes. As a result, the leaf VFX have been made wider and a bit more obvious.
Yeah.
How do I
this
look?
was
Oh yeah,
I love your mustache. It looks
they
amazing.
doubled it.
This was a biggest problem against walls. Like if you had a bush against a wall, kind of the leaves spawn from your position, and you could get against the wall in the bushes, and the leaves barely popped out. So this helps a lot with that, and just in general, visibility on people in bushes is kind of up a little bit because of this change.
There you go.
Let us know how you feel about it after you've played for a couple weeks.
Go catch those rumblers hiding in bushes, everyone.
Yeah.
Previously, after triggering an invulnerable wall splat or invulnerable falling state, your opponent would land on their back and you'd still be able to combo with a ground attack, such as an elbow drop. In order to add clarity to a character who is flashing as invulnerable, we wanted to ensure that this moment would actually be the end of the combo. To achieve that, the following changes have been made.
Yeah.
I'll update you.
let's
Destroy
check
the
that
enjoyable
out real
OP
quick.
features.
We'll do Irish Whip into the wall twice.
Cry.
So that first one is the normal wall splat. The second one is the invulnerable wall splat, but he stays invincible all the way to the floor. So I do not get a free elbow drop anymore. We'll show that again. I'm going to try to get
It's
the
also
free
very
elbow drop.
clear. The bounce off of that is also I feel like
Does
that's
not
way
work.
more dramatic.
No longer
able-
free.
Yeah, no longer free. If he waits and he doesn't get up, I could get an elbow drop there. But this applies to any invulnerable state. So invulnerable wall splat with the Diamond Crusher, no free elbow.
Cool.
The
Let's talk
super
about-
actually causes an invulnerable falling state as well. So there will be no free elbow after a super anymore as well, which also kind
I
of
didn't know
lowers
you
the
could get
damage
in an
on
elbow
successful
after
supers
super.
a little bit.
There you go.
I can show you another one come over here real quick. So we can do classic Irish whip, sumo slap again, invincible wall splat, no free elbow. So there you go.
Cool.
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
think that
about
the combo
when you're on the ground just a bit more.
should end.
To add more utility to the volley dive, we've made the volley dive and dolphin dive able to hit as ground attacks.
Oh my.
The intention for these attacks was always that they would work as ground attacks, but some pesky bugs kept us from allowing this until now. This opened up some looping combos that were not desired, so to combat those, the following changes have been made.
Yeah, before I get into the following changes to combat the looping combos, I want to show you what this means. So ground attack, let me throw you on your back here.
Glad I didn't make that combo video.
That means we can do ground attacks with this move. So of course the volley dive
kinda
can also
scoop them up.
be dodge canceled into a follow-up. I should have done air vicious there. I'll do it one more time just for posterity's sake, so I don't feel like I failed everyone.
A little hard.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
a pretty slick new conversion. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
You're
It's
probably
nice.
going to want to try volley dive these days, especially since finding a dolphin dive will be less common. Of course, the dolphin dive still has its jump cancel on it and can do all the same things. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's pretty strong. You guys are going to definitely want to spend
I think
some
it's doing
time
a
with
nice
the
amount
volley
of
and
damage
dolphin
too.
dives. But I also want to show you one other thing about the volley and dolphin dives. These are listed as traversal moves, and I don't think people use them that way. And I think with good reason. There was a bug after you would dive in the air, you would just kind of like lose all your momentum and just fall straight down. Felt really bad. We fixed that, so you actually carry your momentum way better now. And you are allowed to attack and do actions out of these as well. It is essentially an air dash. So I can, air dash at the wall and grab it.
That looks a lot better
The
now.
dolphin dive with its chargeability is particularly potent for this. Let me get some stamina real quick.
This is going to be a long video.
Throw myself
They're
across
going
huge
over
gaps
a
and grab
lot.
walls. I missed a wall grab there, but I think that's because I was out of stamina.
Already at 52 minutes.
Really, really cool move and really fun to use in traversal. And I definitely recommend giving it a little bit more time. If you tried to use it as traversal before and thought it felt bad, I think you were right. It did feel bad, and now it feels pretty good.
Yeah, see, I almost made it to that. I almost made it to the corner of that building there.
Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. Next up, hang out with me over here.
Okay.
Let's call this the stamina
Landing
update.
chop or punch, basic attacks more than 5 times in a combo will knock the opponent down and end the combo. This gets rid of an easy duo mode infinite combo.
Yeah, let's turn on our combat flag so we don't hit each other here.
This is big. This is big for.
This may be 6 times instead of 5. I'm not sure, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I think we dropped the combo a few times. There we go. They fell out. So if you actually get, I think, 6 of those in a combo, the opponent is just going to fall straight on their back. No, the wall splat ruined it, but yeah, you get the idea. They'll fall out of that. There are a couple other very easy duo mode infinites that we also addressed. You can see those in the full patch notes that will be live on our website once the show is over.
That looks.
Yeah.
Next up, we addressed some inconsistent behavior in how the shot family of moves behave with wall bounces, which could lead to an infinite combo. Now, all 3 tiers will behave similarly when wall splatting the opponent, and in order to address this properly, we've removed the ball wall bounce reaction from the dive family and the shot family from now. The ball wall bounce will come back to these moves once we've had some time to address some of the issues.
Yep. Can you toggle your combat flag for me?
They just took it off.
Cool. So again, I want to assure you the ball wall bounce thing is coming back in the next update, but it was a huge problem that we couldn't get fixed in time. So what'll happen when you wall splat people with these moves is they're just going to do the normal wall stick. You still get all the same combos from almost all the same ranges. So don't worry about that. You just got to kind of float in and get them again. There were some, I think even maybe some undiscovered things, but you could do a lot of wall splats with these moves, way too many. So this curtails it for now, and yeah, not too much else to say about that.
Gotcha.
Buffer cut.
Previously, it was possible to perform an attack during the last few frames of dodge roll recovery before it was possible to block, move, or dodge again. This could lead to an inconsistent feeling when attempting to punish the recovery of a dodge roll. As a result, we have reduced the size of the window that allows you to attack during the last few frames of a dodge roll. This may make punishing certain attacks after dodging them more difficult, especially if you dodge very late on reaction. If you make a read and dodge earlier,
Man,
you will
this
have more time to recover and punish, so this change should also weaken reactive defense slightly.
feels like they
We'll continue
nerfed
to
dodge
monitor
a
the health
bit.
of this behavior and will reduce or remove this window in the future if needed.
Yeah, so this is if you look at the big picture, this is technically a nerf to very reactive play, since you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to come out of a dodge and do an attack. But I can show you, it feels a lot more consistent. Keenan, can you do a 1-1 combo and then dodge cancel it, like to the side or something?
Yeah.
So if I know Keenan's going to do that and I charge this up, I should be able to get that. And in the past, if he dodged and mashed attack, he would just clash with me instead.
Mhm.
And this really, really helps the feeling of consistency in the game a lot. There's actually a lot of other projects we're working on that will help with the feeling of game consistency that I can't get into today, that we're working on for future patches, but just know that we are very aware of these things and we're working on it.
This whole stream
now shout
makes
out
it seem
to,
like they're very aware and paying
the
attention.
Redditor, and the community subreddit, Blacksmum. This is a question from them. Will something be done about rage quitters mid-super? It feels bad to have my super meter drained
Seen a lot of
just
people mention
because
this.
my victim got salty. If an opponent
Yeah.
rage quits during your grapple moves, including super move, you will still get credit for all of the damage and the KO on your perk meter, and your super mode will end as expected.
That's right. So yeah, it'll be just like they didn't rage quit, except for they will have, and you will get all the damage you are owed, and any meter bonus you're supposed to get from a KO, you will get that as well.
This is actually kind of an
You can
impressive
go about living your
addition.
happy life with your super meter turned off, so you can go super somebody else after you refill. Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I wouldn't have thought that would be that
And
easy to fix.
Yeah, go ahead, Keenan.
That'll conclude that section there.
Yeah, I do want to mention again, the patch notes will be live after this stream. There are a lot of bug fixes that we did not go over here, and I want you to check that out. So if there's a bug you were concerned about, it might be on the list. And if it's not, I'm sure we're aware of it and we're working on it. And then there are a couple balance changes also on that list that we did not go over here too. So make sure you read through those. You might find a few that we just skipped over because they weren't that fun to demonstrate or that interesting to demonstrate.
Yep. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Next up, we've got some miscellaneous game updates and improvements.
Is this a KO counter
we've
back?
got a little bit of a slideshow for you.
Yeah. Let's head over to our slideshow and we can show off a couple of these little
Slideshow.
improvements we've made.
Cool.
What's our first one here, Keenan?
First up, your teammate in duos mode is now
Oh.
highlighted by an outline. This should make them easier to see in a crowd.
Yeah, this helps so much. Like, this is huge.
I haven't played a lot of duos,
You guys
but
are really going to like this.
that seems
For
like
sure.
a
Next
given.
up, slide 2, please.
I'm trying to spot the difference before.
Our spectator mode HUD has been overhauled. You can now see additional info about the player you are spectating, such as
all of their
inventory, perks, equipped
perks.
special moves, and an outline on their teammates so you can tell who they are teamed with.
Yeah, this is a huge game changer too. If you use spectator mode for anything at all, this is awesome.
Yeah,
And
being
even
able
if
to
you
see
just
what
want to
your
kind of
opponent actually has.
see what the
It's a
setup of
big
the
deal.
person who just defeated you is, you can go straight into spectator mode and hey, what's their build?
Super
what kind of perks
important.
did they have? Why did I get got? This will help you get that information.
Not super important, but just really nice.
I think
Really
our
nice change.
stream went out.
Oh, is this a stream gone? Are we good?
It says stream off. I'm gonna refresh just to make sure we're all
Yeah,
good.
the chat is upset. It says we're back.
That was
Okay, I think we're back.
I mean,
Okay, we're
it's,
back.
it's
Let's
Twitch,
keep
so you,
going.
Back.
you got to
Okay.
refresh. But
Next up, slide 3. There is a
Oh, a
new
game.
mode select screen. Looks
Yes.
very nice. Should hopefully make it a little clearer of
Some
which
UI
mode you're queuing up
updates?
for next.
Yeah, very pretty.
that looks way better.
Cool. Next, slide 4, please.
What is this? Some shading?
Cool.
What did they
Lighting
change?
has been improved. Characters
just
should
lighting.
be a bit easier to see and read in shadowed areas now.
Yeah.
I mean, it
This
doesn't look
helps a lot in
insanely different to me,
practice.
but
You'll notice it when you play. And again, if you have more feedback on this stuff, let us know.
Please do. Thanks. All right, on to slide number 5, please. The settings screen have gotten a visual overhaul. You'll be able to see descriptions of each option as you highlight. Consider if
You
you
can
think
hide
you've
all
mastered all the buttons
HUDs.
on your keyboard and mouse or controller. Maybe turn the input legend off. Something available for you.
Interesting.
Next slide, please.
Be interesting for creating, especially.
Nice quality change here. The icon for the swing family of special moves has been updated for clarity.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more clear what that move is from the icon now. I think it's a good change.
For sure. And that
Very cool.
concludes our miscellaneous game updates and improvements.
I didn't think
Yeah.
swing
Passing
was.
to you, Adam.
Yeah, so before we let you all go, I wanted to give you a little comment on servers and netcode and attack tracking and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
we hear your feedback about latency and the attack tracking systems. Today's update has a ton of improvements to both. Additional improvements are going to come in future updates.
I was gonna say they need to mention it, and they do. They're mentioning it.
Office. We really appreciate you guys submitting your videos to the bug report section of our Discord when you see odd things occur. It really helps us diagnose and fix the issues faster. I need you guys to really understand and hear me here. We play the game too. We love it. We're on it all the time. But there's a limit to the amount that we can see and learn when we test the game internally. When the game goes live and it comes out to you guys, within 1 minute of it being live, you have 100 times more test time and footage on it than we could have ever gotten on our own. That's just the reality of it, right? So we're going to see a lot of things we could have never seen or only saw once in development. And it's really important to us that we improve it and make it better. This is a very novel way of doing like an online Melee game. I don't think anybody's ever done anything like this before. So we're learning about it and improving it as we go. And your videos and your reports about what crosses the line really helps us. When you show us a video of like tackle tracking, warping to the side and then coming forward, that's not a netcode issue. That's a tracking issue. And if we have a video of that, we can diagnose what caused it and try to find a fix. And that's really important. So keep sending those in, keep letting us know what crosses the line for you, and we will keep improving it. It's going to be an ongoing journey between all of us to get it to a spot where we're all really, really, really happy with it. And like I said, we play the game too. We're very serious about it. We love it. And we want to make it as good as we can. And I know you guys want us to. So that's the journey we're on, and let's stay on it together. And I think that's all I have to say about that. Dee, do you want to sign us out?
I'm here to sign you out. This has been a Rumbleverse stream with your friendly neighborhood developers from Iron Galaxy. Thank you so much for watching. Pay attention to our official channels and read all the patch notes that are about to go live. Stay tuned for the mid-season update, which should go live at the end of this maintenance window. We'll see you in the streets of Capital City. That's all. Stream is over.
To be honest, I didn't expect that much from this stream. I'm gonna check out the patch notes. Well, I'm gonna see if the update's live. I'm also gonna play this today. Updating now. Wow. I think patience is key. So many gamers don't understand game development at all, and I think this just goes to show they might not have somebody that can communicate with you all the time, but when they are asking you to show them stuff, show them examples of the things you're experiencing, and then they come out with this, I think it just shows that they are listening. And just watching these guys, it feels like they're very passionate about the game. So I think it's awesome. I'm gonna read the patch notes and get into those and then finish this off. It took an hour, solid hour stream, very organized, really, just W overall. Shout out to Keits and Keeman. It's weird for their names to be kind of similar. Get them confused.